So you've been grinding in Photoshop, putting together sports edits and almost hit the mark, but something's missing. Well, today we are diving into your designs. I'll be breaking down what doesn't work and does work and changing a few tweaks that can take your sports graphics from decent to next level, whether it's better text placement, cleaner cutouts or stronger compositions. I will be fixing your designs. So the first one was sent in by Aam Reebus. I think I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I do apologise if I didn't. Just before we get into the design, I want to break down your design just a little bit and say what you can do, say what you can do better. One main thing I'd say, your highlights, you didn't wow highlights. I think your highlights are fine. Like, they're not awful. They're quite good. Some of the bits are a bit harsh. One thing I'd say that doesn't feel, I don't know, doesn't fit it that much is I think it is Dembele, if I'm sure. I don't know, it just feels out of place a little bit. Is it Dembele? I think so, yeah. But yeah, he just feels a bit out of place. The trophy feels a bit out of place as well. You'll see the image I use, it just kind of makes sense. But again, the highlights, they're good. They're really good. One thing I would say about Ousmane Dembele, you're missing a few shadows here. And like, if it was my design, I'd have like a shadow like that a little bit. But again, it's your design, that's fine. I do like the Northern Lights. That's a really good touch, really good opportunity to add highlights and stuff like that. The plane's class. I think the plane's really cool. Well done with the plane. But yeah, let's get into the design. You might like this one. Okay, so I see on your style of design, I see the Northern Lights, and I thought we'll add that. We'll 100% add that to our design, and this is the photo I chose. So the next thing I wanted to do was add the frozen lake just like yours, and that is mine. So your designs had mountains in the background. I think mine needed that. So I went and found some good photos of mountains. This is the first one. That is the second one. But it still felt so empty, so I added some trees just in front of the lake. And I think it added it perfectly and made it look so much better. So all of this needed touching up and matching colours. So I added to each one different colours of blue. So they all started to blend well with each other. To split them up quite a bit so it didn't look like that, I added a bit of haze to each one, even the front. But then I thought I had a great idea, but it didn't really come off. I wanted the Northern Lights coming off the lake, but it didn't really hit. But I did a few tweaks on the lake and it comes out really nice. So the next thing I did was paint some fog/smoke. Then I was looking at your design. I noticed the footballs and I thought, I need to add footballs. So I added them into the frozen lake and I thought, wow, I am a mastermind. Next thing I added from your design was Cole Palmer, the main subject of this whole graphic. So I started off by adding his shadows, then the photo of Cole Palmer, which I did put a Nora filter on. I added a bit of glow from the shield/trophy. Then I added his shadows. He needed a colour balance because he was looking to, I don't know, he needed a bit of blue to him, which I think looks perfect. Added more shadows and even more shadows. Then the highlights of the trophy, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful, I can't lie. Next thing I added from your design was this plane. Really good touch, really liked it, so I needed to add it. I added the back bit where it would say World Champions, added Chelsea logo, and then Champions of the World. Added a bit of darkness to it, added a bit of colour to it. And then the main little bit that was missing was the plane, so we added that next. Added a bit of shadow to it, more shadows, colour balance, a bit of colour to it, and then add a few highlights to it because it needed it. It desperately needed it. I added some glow to the back where the Northern Lights were. I thought it was missing something at the front. The front just didn't seem right, so I added more smoke to it. And then the final piece of resistance I added was some snow. And this was the final camera raw. And I think that looks perfect. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know out of 1 to 10. But yeah, thank you for sending in your design. I really had fun making this one. So let's get on with the next one. The next one was sent in by Footy Visuals and it's great. Honestly, I texted him saying, how am I meant to change this? Like, it's really good, but we can try and do something. The first thing I'm noticing when I look at this design, the trophy stands out a little bit too much. So I do want to try and add a colour balance to it and see if that makes it a little bit better. I understand it was meant to be like that, but I do think with a bit of colour balance, it looks a lot better. As I said in my highlight videos, I like having one dark, one light, and I think it has got that, but I think I'm going to try and add some highlights and shadows to it. Before I do that though, again, colour balance, the whole composition is blue. I just think it would blend so much better if he had a bit more blue in him. Like that. Yeah. And then I think I'll do it for the main Hadji, right? Just so it looks a lot better. This is my personal opinion. I know, I understand if you don't like it, but I just think it looks a lot better. I am going to try and work on the shadows and highlights just a little bit, just to see if I can make it any better. Like I say, Footy Visuals, mate, it's a good composition, mate. It's a good graphic. Doesn't really need retouching. Honestly, I respect this. So already the shadows are in, and I do think it adds to it quite a lot. There is still more to do though. Looking at the design, I feel like his shadows are a bit harsh. So I do want to come in and try and change that just a little bit. They're not bad shadows, but they're just a bit harsh. And I think it's taken away from this design. If I was to remove the shadows, let's go in here. Let's add our own here, and then we'll come here and blur this bit. Is that better? I do like his shadows. I think they are good. This bit's too harsh, which is what I'm noticing down here. So like we can just get. I'm a bit stumped. I don't mind his shadowing. I think some bits are harsh, but then some bits aren't. Like this doesn't need to be as harsh because it's only in the dark bits. I do like his shadow techniques though. Just a bit harsh. Right, let's add some hue and saturation with the white. If you know my technique, you know. One thing I've noticed while coming in and doing his graphics, his cutouts are a bit. The cutouts, just be careful. You're missing little bits that could potentially ruin your design. Apart from that, because I noticed down here there's a bit. It needs just trimming off a bit. So you see the grass here. There we go, much better. But to be fair, like I say, it's a really strong composition here. I think personally we can add a white floor here and bring it down just a bit. Just so it looks like he's actually got something to stand on. These need working on just a bit, not too much. They're just not centered correctly, but like I say, Easy fix. The trophy itself needs a shadow, I'd say. Not looking. Not too bad. Again, same shadow issue. This is losing. I'd say it needs just like an outline, but it's getting lost in the background. Not in a shadow. Let's go outer glow. The red doesn't look too bad, but it's Coventry, so it's not going to be red. Let's make that smaller and change the spread down. Turns the opacity down. Does that make it stand out a little bit better? Yeah, I don't like it though. I did a thing. That was a pure mistake as well. I do want to change it to blues. The sky blue army. I think that looks quite good. Add a bit of noise to that as well, just to make it stand out. And also it can class as a light source, so I just think it being white will be so much better. Yeah, but I think we can add these in another place as well. How does that look? It's not bad. I don't personally, if this was my own fully design, I wouldn't keep it there, but I'll see what he thinks. Right, let's have a camera raw on this. See, it's not my favourite. I think your design was better than mine. I'm not really used to like matchday graphics, but honestly, really good graphic, well done. But that is the final design. We'll do one more, so let's have a look. Right, so the final one today is from Renzo Visuals. Honestly, good graphic. Needs a few tweaks. I'm noticing like Champions League logo is cut off just a little bit, little stuff like that. The quality's a bit low, just a little bit low. I think we can get better photos. So I think I know what I'm gonna do. Right, so bringing my image of Douay in, I just need to cut him out. Got my cutout of Douay. I'm just like fixing up some of the stuff that is being missed. So I want to put Douay in like the middle of the competition. I want him to be the main subject of this graphic. Looking at your design, I do like the grass texture, which I will go and get myself. So my grass texture is going to be what he stands on. It's a really high res image, so it's loading really slow. Let's see how that looks. It's not bad. Bring him back here. I do want to work on the shadows of him before I start anything else. The plan is for this design is kind of him with the trophy, with the PSG fans in the back, just like you have on your design. If we go back to your design, you've got the fans in the background, which look really good. They look great. I think the flag looks great. I do like the gradient. The gradient's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna try and manipulate the same thing. So I'm just bringing in the PSG fans in now. Make it look perfect. Of course I can. I want to bring some of that red into this. So let's do that. So add a hue and saturate. No, a color balance to do it. Make him red. And then we're gonna go and blur the background with the pitch. I'm gonna do a field. This is a little tip that I like to use. Is field blur wherever you want for your image to look. Like, there's no blur, but you want blur on your image. Go all the way. Make 2 selections. So the back blurs, but this front bit doesn't. And look at that. And I'm gonna add some. Oh, I am cooking with this. The board would have a shadow. So let's try and manipulate that. See if I can do that. Just like that. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good. So let's work on Douay himself. Right, I want to add a bit more darkness to him. About there. Make everything else quite dark. Let's turn the flow down to about 10. Let's start painting. Right, so that's like not done, but the colours are correct, I'd say, for my liking. I'm going to add some hue and saturation. I'm going to do some highlights on them because I think it will look bloody brilliant. Bloody brilliant. So let's come in and add some highlights to do a... How is that looking? It's quite good, isn't it? See, on your design you've got light leaks, which I think will be perfect on this, by the way. And I'll show you what I'm going to use from. There we go. What else do you have? Oh, I do like these. They are nice. Yes, please. I do need to work on the trophy shadow really quick. It's not too dark enough for me. Do like your text, which I will bring in myself really quick. Do want to change the what's it called? Will it look good middle center? See, I do like your text. I do really like your text, but I feel like it's not gonna fit well in this. If I change, no, if I change this to white. Okay, it's doing something, and I'll do that, and then center it a little bit, and we'll move it to there. It's not bad. Could we not do something like this? So, let's turn the flow back up, have the ribbon, so it goes around the ribbon. Okay, that looks much better. Yes. Yes, that looks really good. The one thing I really want to add from your design, the Champions League, this, and I think I can add it. Couldn't find just the ball. So if I just come into here and get rid of this bit, smart object, let's add a gradient to it and let's see if that works. Right, so I can't decide, so I'm going to leave it as that, but I'm going to have two different versions because I can't decide at all. Do want to add a bit of glow to the, just a little bit here. See, that does something to it. But like I say, it is not, I personally wouldn't have it, but like I say, I'll give two options. Right, so camera raw filter time. Let's have a look at it. There are two different versions. There's one without the Champions League logo behind him and one without. Tell me which one you prefer. I prefer the one without, but yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video. I actually thank people for sending stuff in. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed doing this. So want a part 2? Drop some more in my Discord. So yeah, thank you for the support. Love you guys. Have a good day.